Okay, cool. Well, let's get things shaking here. Uh, Robert Barhite, welcome to the first episode interview of It's the Story That Matters, which is going to be our interview series, which is from Lucid Cinema, which is a part of the greater organization that includes Lucid Films, as well as the Milwaukee Independent Film Awards. So really glad to have you. I'm Ezekiel Drews, as you already know, but I'm the CEO of Lucid Films, as well as Lucid Cinema, and the festival director for MIFA. So we're glad to have you on board today for the interview, and really excited to, kind of talk about Shake of the Day and any other kind of projects that you might have in alignment here. So let's kick things off here. Why don't you tell me a little bit about you? I wanted to ask, I did see on your IMDb that it says your first film that's listed is from 2020. Is that accurate, or how long have you been filmmaking for?
That'd be about accurate.
Okay.
I did a couple of 48s before that as a writer and actor. And I branched off, and then, COVID hit and we kind of pulled back, obviously. But yeah, 2020 was the first 48, and also the first one that I did on my own. We started filming Seeking Big Shoe.
Okay.
Kind of a parody of paranormal, finding Bigfoot type shows. We started that in 2018. That's when it started. We wrote it, filmed it in 2019, and finished editing in 2020.
Okay, very cool. And so obviously, so you and I are not exactly the youngest of people. So I guess, so if you started doing, your filmmaking career, 2020, I just, I think one of the biggest things that we could probably both take away is that it doesn't matter how old you are or how old you might appear to be, it's how young you feel and what you want to go out and accomplish. So you can start making films anytime. It doesn't have to be fresh out of college for like some of these filmmaking students that I see, right?
Exactly. If you get the bug, go with it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Of your films that I see on IMDb here, I gotta ask, obviously, you submitted for Shake of the Day, but what's been your favorite one so far?
Oh, good question. Shake of the Day was a blast. We had 2 hours to film it.
Oh, okay, yeah, I vaguely remember that
Yeah.
from when we met at the Star City Film Festival. So you filmed it in 2 hours?
Right.
Okay.
From inception to filming, it was about 2 months.
Okay.
Um, it came out of a idea that I had when we were having a wrap party.
Yeah.
There was a person from LA who, excuse me, who went to a bar to eat, and they had a sign, Shake the Day. And he asked what flavor it was. And everybody else at the table just started giggling. It's like, what? So it kind
Right.
of grew that, and love of short stories like Lottery. And I don't know where the creepy ending came from, but
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely I do recall. So when seeing it at the Star City Film Festival, I did rewatch it earlier today, so that way I could make sure it was fresh in my mind. I think one of these things is that I like to point out is especially just the fact that you put it together for filming wise in 2 hours is actually really incredible, because you have a full story start to finish. And you didn't have a whole lot of time to put it together. So I just want to give some major kudos on that. I know you said the whole, pre-production, everything to get it to that point was about 2 months, but realistically, I don't think people understand that when you get something and have it cohesive, in 2 hours for just the amount of footage that you have to take, and you have to be on point, and you just got to be go, 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 go. Your sound quality is great for it. There's for what you guys had time-wise, it's a great film. And I think, right now, obviously, so I've seen it, I saw it at Star City. I've seen it because you submitted to us for MIFA. Where can people watch the film right now, or is it just kind of festival exclusive?
Is festival exclusive for a while longer. Probably by the end of the year, we'll have it out, at least on YouTube.
Okay, very cool. Are you gonna, take this and try to make it into anything bigger, or is it just like, hey, this is a complete story where it's at?
No, this is it. It's not a proof of concept or anything. This is the story. I had no intentions of using it to make something longer out of it. It just self-contained.
Just a self-contained, fun little film,
Yeah.
a ride from start to finish, especially for the hero or the protagonist of the story. Um, very just a very interesting concept. And when I first saw it, I had some inklings of what that might be hinting towards, because I thought, oh, this is kind of, again, progressively darker. Okay, yep, it kind of synced with my expectations for it, but at the same time, that's not a bad thing. I think sometimes, as filmmakers, we're always like, we got to put in that surprise ending and stuff. It's always got to be surprise. It doesn't have to be. I think, it's a nice little joyride that we get from start to finish, with watching Shake of the Day. So very nice. And I loved, you had a shot. So when he rolls the dice from above, I like that shot. Did you guys have like a step ladder, or what were you guys doing in order to get that shot?
Um, Will McKay, who's the editor and does camera work, he got up on a bar stool and shot it over like that. We did a couple of takes and it worked.
Yeah, it was somebody holding on to him so he wouldn't fall off the bar
Yeah,
stool. I was gonna
yeah,
say bar stools are not exactly known for being the easiest things to stand on, let alone sit in once you've had a few in you, right?
yeah.
Uh, that's funny. Well, outside of Shake of the Day, what other projects do you have going on right now?
I am editing a project that was started in 2017.
Okay.
It's not my film. I helped write it, but there's been so many complications along the way. It's fallen on me to do the final edit, and we're working on it pretty good. Um, it's called Hotel Bar,
Okay.
and it has a supernatural vibe to it. And Ben Rule, who's in Shake of the Day, is one of the main characters in Hotel Bar. It's a very similar type character. He's very skilled at playing that specific role. But we had COVID lockdown. We kept changing the ending.
Mhm.
We violated the Star Trek, the motion picture rule. If you're going to start filming something, make sure you have Act 3 locked. Don't keep adding new characters. Um, and the director passed away in 2021, I believe it was.
Oh, wow.
So I did a kind of a rough edit, and it's been approved by the powers that be. So Will and I are putting it together and arranging music, get the permissions to use some of the songs we want to use, and hopefully it gets done soon.
Yeah, that's always especially when the person that's the visionary for something, if something happens where this completely taken out of the picture, I think that can always have some big ramifications. I think we've seen it over the years in different Hollywood blockbusters, like just a mainstream movie that comes to my mind is like the Justice League, right?
Yeah,
Where you
yeah,
had and if you've seen like the Schneider cut of
yeah,
Justice League, it's completely different than what we saw with I think it was Joss Whedon or whoever it was
yep,
that it. And I got to tell you, like, I wish we would have had the Schneider cut be the part of the actual canon, because it's far and above. Now, obviously it's a four-hour movie, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend like trying to stretch your other film out into 4 hours. Or how long is that one approximately?
it's going to be about 20 minutes. It was
Okay.
initially conceived to be a pilot for a TV series we wanted to film in Madison, but it just took so long for the first episode
Sure.
to get done. Plus the bar we filmed in, the Brink Lounge, it
Mhm.
closed. So
Oh,
we can't use the set again.
did it close during COVID?
I coming out of COVID about a year and a
Right.
half ago.
Oh, geez. So it's not even so the place that you shot doesn't even exist anymore. It's not even like
Right.
the Hobbit
Exactly.
town in New Zealand where people can go take pictures or whatever. It's just gone, wiped from the
Right.
place from the face of the earth.
Yep.
Wow.
So it, and we got lucky. We needed to film like a minute and a half of additional footage for the opening. And we lucked out because the last weekend it was going to be open. We came in and we filmed it.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, that's good luck, obviously.
Yes,
So,
perfect. Yeah.
um, that's great. Um, my goodness, I'm trying to think of any
Yeah.
other situations where something couldn't be, possibly worse in terms of trying to have those kind of filming conditions. Uh, but man, well, kudos to you for making that work as well as you could. Um, I see on Facebook, I'm looking at your profile right now. I see you've got another film that's at the SOGO Film Fest this year in Stoughton, Wisconsin. Your feedback is important to us. Is that another one that
Yes.
you're responsible for in either directing or
Yes.
producer, or what? Tell me about that
Uh,
one.
director, one of the writers. It was shot for the 48-hour film project in April. And for those who aren't familiar with it, you have 48 hours, like it sounds,
Hmm.
to write, film, edit, do everything. And it gets turned in, and there's competition. It's pretty fun. Uh, you go in, you draw two genres out of a hat, and we drew dark comedy and road trip. They go together pretty well. Um,
Like
everybody has
Weekend
a
at Bernie's,
mandatory.
right?
Yep, exactly. Um, everybody has a line that they have to use, same line. Your feedback is important to us. So we made sure we said that a lot in the film and it's on the poster. Then we have the same character and the same occupation. The character was a compliance officer. And so we just did the road trip and we kind of sketched out what we wanted to do. Like when we were shooting, like, this is where I want you to start with your lines, and this is where we're going to end up. What you guys say, knock yourself out. And there are a lot, it was mostly impromptu, but there was a little bit of directing in it. Um, it was a lot of fun. Probably the most fun I've had on a 48-hour, especially because I keep using the same people, so we know each
Yeah.
other now.
Yeah. So, and you live out, I think I saw Dodgeville, Wisconsin. Is
Yeah.
that right? So
Yep.
do you work with a lot of people in there, or do you work, Dodgeville, I think is maybe not that far away from Iowa and Minnesota borders. Do you work with, people in that kind of vicinity, or who's your favorite crew to kind of work with?
My crew is in Western Dane County and
Okay.
into Iowa County, like Mazomanie, Arena, Black Earth. The tall guy that's in all my films, Eric Rep, lives in Black Earth, I work for him. So it's a lot of fun being able to boss your boss around and make him look like an idiot. Or, or better yet, we just tied him to a bed from one film, and that was
Oh,
fun.
geez. This is payback, boss.
Damn
Oh,
it.
geez.
Um, and then he has theater connections, so he's been pulling people in. I pull people in that I've known over the years, like Will. We've known each other for probably 15 years now.
Mhm.
So everything comes together.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm trying to remember if this was, I think I see it on here as well. I believe so. We had done kind of a dramatic reading of,
Yeah,
I believe it's A Man Walks into a Bar. Uh,
right.
so that, so how's the plans for that coming to get that from written to pre-production and into filming? How's that going, buddy?
It's going well. Still tightening up the script. It came out of a short story I wrote. And, short stories, it's tell, don't show, obviously. And when you're doing filming, it's complete opposite. You got to show, don't tell. So there's a
Right.
lot of narration that I'm cutting out. Kill your pretties. So now I think it's to the point where it could be filmed.
Okay.
There's a lot of show, especially towards the end where there's a fight. Would love to film it. Got to look around for funding and a supper club that we can borrow for a couple of days.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Funding is always a challenge because either you got to pay for it out of your own pocket or you got to find enough people who are interested in the project. I think that's probably the number one issue that people run into with trying to get their projects up off the ground if it's not going to be just like a micro budget for setting or whatnot.
Right. And this one, I have an idea who I like to have directed and work on it, and the crew I know who I want to work on it too. Like part of it, there's a scene with the parking lot, like maybe 30 seconds, but we would need quite a few older mid-90s cars. Just to make it look like the place is full, something like that. So there's some expenses that I'm gonna have to find money for.
Yeah, or at least just find a lot of like really, really old people that haven't got rid of their cars, right? So
Yeah.
they're out there, I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I would say maybe hit up one of those classic car shows or whatnot and see if there's, because obviously if you can find people with a lot of nice looking cars from the 80s or 90s, that's maybe that's something to look into.
Well, that's one of the advantages of where I film in Dane County is Michael Keeney and Key Media. That's his job, is to find cars for films, and he has a pretty good lead on. If we need like 20 cars from 1990, he'll get them pulled in.
Right. Hey, we're trying to film a spinoff of the Wonder Years. How can I get some cars from the 90s?
Exactly. And if we're like filming in a supper club, just pay the people in food,
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
It's amazing. Food is a very good way to get people to be like, you know what, sure, I'll do it. Why not? Especially if you don't need them for super heavy acting stuff. But yeah,
Right.
I mean, a lot of people work for food. I've worked for food.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, well, what else can you tell me about other projects that you've got going on? I'm really interested to know. Obviously, there's the couple ones that I knew about, but what else? Do you have anything else that's in the works right now?
Well, there's our Seeking Big Shoe. We've done Seeking Big Shoe, which is it's the parody of Finding Bigfoot shows like that. Where a famed cryptozoologist is going out in the woods looking for feral clowns. I do believe there's a clown in these woods. So
does the clown bite?
No.
Scratch your eyes out.
Yeah. No, these are happy clowns. It's a lot of fun. They're not the scary kind. So we've got 2 of those, and we're going to be hopefully starting a third, depending on work, in October.
Okay, very cool.
Not October.
Yeah, well, keep me in the loop for a lot of these things because obviously I'm still an actor too. So if we get a chance to work together, I'm all for it. But yeah, so you've got a few different projects on your plate. I know you said so you like to boss your boss around. So what outside of filming? So what do you do for work right now?
I am a client success liaison. So we sell a Medicare processing system software. So I listen to what the clients need in some of the software, and I translate that from English into programming, basically what we can modify in our software for them.
Okay. Gotcha. But obviously, if you had to choose between if you could work full time in filmmaking versus being a customer
Client success liaison,
client,
I would take
I was
one.
like, I'm going to butcher the job title. Would you? Yeah, I'm assuming we'd all love to do more filming and just work full time in the
Right.
biz.
Right. Yeah, it's fun. I'm always looking for opportunities to help out or especially to write. So
Yeah. Well, what other ideas are you kind of kicking around right now as you're I know obviously so we've talked about a couple things. A man
yeah.
walks into a bar. What other, what other kind of ideas you got kicking around the old noodle?
I've got a few films, feature length that I need to go back in and start rewriting. Anywhere from like a road trip, mother and son type road trip film to uh, an homage to 1950s drive-ins, drive-in
Okay.
sci-fi films, really bad sci-fi with the bad explanation of what's going on, the anti-radiation nuclear bomb type thing. Uh, and a couple of TV pilots that I've written, and one was for college. It was my thesis, and I had a pleasure of working with Eric Bork on that, who worked with Spielberg, and he's done a lot. He has a really good website and blog, Flying Wrestler. Um, that is a story set in New Orleans about a lawyer who is about 5 seconds away from getting disbarred. He takes on an unwinnable case and he ends up winning it and just follows his path after that. And then the other one is a Western set in Johnson County, Wyoming during the Johnson County Range War.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it sounds like you got some variety in terms of the overall types of films that you like to make. So is there a specific niche or genre that you like to work in the most, or are you just kind of trying to be an all-arounder?
I write what I want to see. I think theme-wise, there's a common thread. The characters tend to be at their lowest moment, and we just follow their trajectory, either up and with success or just down. So far, everything's the trajectory's up. So, but that's the commonality, the common thread.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I hope that we get to see more of your stuff that's out there and these different ideas that you're kicking around.
Yeah,
Can you tell me the backstory around the logo? Like I've seen the logo,
oh
the I'm
sure,
busy. I like to,
yeah.
I've seen that and I heard your when your film started, he goes, I'm busy. And I'm like, where does that come from? Tell me about that.
So that's a picture of my dad when he was about 10.
No. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and right behind him, that's his brother, my Uncle Hank. Um, it just the expression on his face is like I'm busy, and that's where the name came from. And the kid saying I'm busy is my grandson,
Oh
and we
wow.
made him say, I think, like 5 or 6 takes, and finally he was so annoyed. He said, "I'm busy." That's it.
Nice. Very cool. Did your dad always have that serious expression on his face or or was it
Yeah,
just
he
that?
always did. Pretty much. Yeah, when I see you next, I will tell you what my first words were. They're a little blue. He was in the Navy in World War II, so you can imagine.
Yeah. No, I can imagine what that would possibly be like. So very cool. Well, let's see. Now, Shake of the Day. So right now it's making its way through different film festivals. We've kind of talked a little bit about it, but I want to circle back to it.
Yeah,
Tell me about the film, what you want people to take away from it when they see it, and kind of, we talked about what led you to make the film was,
yeah,
the little the story about the guy who asked what flavor it was. But
yeah.
tell me about, what you want people to take away from this film.
I hope they come away with a smile on their face and an aversion to bar chili. Um,
Oh, jeez.
and I hope they don't think that I'm like some kind of weird uh, Donner Pass kind of guy. Um, what I want them to take away is that if you have a vision, whether it's something as simple as what we did for Shake of the Day, something, like the hero's journey, whatever you want to do, follow through with it. I've written plenty of stuff that I've just gone back and looked at and shred it. It's not worth remembering, but keep working on it as a keep working on it. Keep working on your art. If you have a passion, go for it, whether it's in writing, photography, anything. Don't stop. And that would be what I really want people to take away is if you have a passion, follow through.
Yeah, I would say, is that would that also be for anybody that's looking at getting into filmmaking, whether it's a student or if they're just like, you know what, I just want to go crazy and try this out for the first time. Is that what you would probably
Right.
suggest to people?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, exactly. You don't necessarily need to go to UCLA or USC film school. There's plenty of places around Milwaukee, Madison, Chicago, where you can either help volunteer on a set and start learning as a PA.
Mm-hmm.
There are schools in Chicago and Milwaukee and Madison you can go to as well. And we are on par with anything on the West Coast. I'll put our students up against it, our graduates up against anyone out in LA.
Awesome. That's always good to hear that we're up there.
Yep.
I think we're probably on the same page when it comes to Midwest filming, especially in Wisconsin. We're super underrepresented in the industry. One of the things that I really hope with this series as well is that we can help promote a lot of especially the Wisconsin filmmaking, but especially in the Midwest in general. I think we just need to get more people out there to see what we're working on, whether it's good, bad, or somewhere in between. We just need to make sure that everybody's story is getting told the best way, getting more exposure for the stories, because so many things we see, that are just, I call it slop. We see slop in Hollywood, that, we just get the big chains of film theaters that are just like, here's the Hollywood blockbusters. And, you get those fatigues from movies that are, 2 hours to 2.5 to 3 hours. And you're just like, I just want this to be, over. My kids don't have, the attention span to sit through a 2.5 to 3 hour movie. I'm 37. I can't even, 3 hour movie. Like I need to know walking in that that's what I'm getting into. And I just, I can't take that anymore. So I'm really glad to see just, especially like from short films, attention grabbers like this one. I think that it's a fun ride. I think people will, when they get a chance to see it, whether it's on YouTube or some other distribution for you at some point, I think they'll have an 8-minute ride of fun just watching it and getting to see what your vision was for this. Last thing I want to go over is, so where can we follow more of your projects? Obviously, so you're on IMDb. That's how I found a couple of your things. I did find you on Instagram, but I'm not sure if it doesn't look like there's anything that's out there right now, but you've got Robert Barhite is your username. Is there anywhere else that we can follow you and get more exposure for you?
Right now, that's the best place to go. And just shoot me a note on Messenger if you have questions. We are going to get a Facebook page up for I'm Busy, as well as Instagram, which, like you said, mine's kind of a ghost town, tumbleweeds going through it.
All right, you're working on making stuff, and all you got to do is just help get some of that Instagram or Facebook even for there's a lot of people that still network on both, but definitely you pick up that social media presence that I help with getting especially if you're looking to try to get funding and stuff for different opportunities, having any kind of proof of concept or anything that you might be able to share, BTS or anything like that can definitely help. So Robert Barhite on Instagram, you're going to have I'm Busy is going to be on Facebook. Do you think you're going to dabble into TikTok?
I don't know.
I don't. Not worth it to me.
Yeah, I'm busy. I'm Busy is also on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. All right, so
we
you're
are
gonna
on YouTube.
so Robert Robert Barhite on Instagram. I'm Busy is going to be on Facebook, and it's also on YouTube. How many? What else do you have on YouTube for videos?
I think I've uploaded 2 or 3, some of the earlier stuff. Well, as a film becomes available for us to out of the circuit, we'll put it out there and release it into the wild, let everybody watch it.
Okay, very cool. And yeah, we look forward to watching that. I'm going to check out your YouTube as well, so that way I can kind of see some of your other works that are out there that you put out there, just because I'm very interested just to see I've only seen Shake of the Day, so I'm very interested to see some of the other
Okay.
stuff that you've worked on. So very excited to look at that, share that with people. Robert, thank you so much for jumping on for this interview call. It's very good to see you and meet with you again. Again, Robert Barhite. You can follow him on Instagram. You can follow I'm Busy on YouTube, and soon on Facebook as well. Thank you so much, Robert.
Not a problem. You have a good night, and we'll see you soon.
Sounds good. Take care.
Thanks.